Yo, what's good guys? It's Kilo again, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Soul Master and what builds that I like to use in Lost Ark. This is going to be mainly focused towards all the newer players in the game. We're going to be going over PvP, PVE, and leveling is just for the beginners that are still going through the storyline and need something to kind of base their build off of as they're leveling. So we'll go over that as well for them. But the first thing that I want to talk about is lostarktree.ru. Lostarktree.ru is actually a website where you can look at other people's builds that they've created or make your own builds to showcase online. And I just wanted to make sure that I get the website out there because a lot of the ideas that I've gotten are from that website. So it's a great tool to use if you're looking for any other ideas on Soul Master, be it any class. It's a great place to take a look. The next thing I wanted to talk about is builds kind of get to a point in this game that you kind of base them off of what you like to do or what content that you're specifically doing. So for PvP, for instance, I actually got the build from someone else and then I kind of tweaked it a little bit to my liking. So a lot of the times it just ends up being something that you prefer. But I'm going to show you guys today what I like to use, and that way maybe it can give you a basis of what maybe you would like to use in your final build. And also I just wanted to mention as well, as always, like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed the content. It helps a lot. And feel free to leave a comment and let me know if you'd like me to make another guide for something different, or if you wanted to give a suggestion to whatever I'm talking about in the video. And let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting with the PVE build first. This build I actually kind of put together from a YouTube video I saw a while ago, and also from lostarktree.ru. So it's kind of a little bit of both, and I kind of put one skill in over another. This is what I just like to use, especially for Guardian raids. This is my go-to build. So just to start off with the skills, we're going to be using Sundering Palm with outstanding mobility and prepare attack. Second skill we're going to be using is Heaven Reversing Palm with concussion and aggressive attack. Third skill is going to be Scattering Fire with enhanced attack, ruthless movement, and after image attack. Fourth skill is going to be Thunder Palm with enhanced penetration, wide attack, and cruel grasp. Fifth attack we're going to be using is Instant Step, just with outstanding mobility. Sixth attack we're going to be using is Key Palm with quickly prepare, enhanced wave, spatial expansion for the last slot. Next skill we're going to be using is Falling Star Palm with hidden attack, find weakness, and sixth sense. And then finally we are going to be using Inner Key Discharge with fortification, enhanced key discharge, and prepare attack. So basically how this build works is we're buffing ourselves from Sundering Palm or Inner Key Discharge to use our four biggest moves, which is going to be Scattering Fire, Sundering Palm, Key Palm, and Falling Star Palm. So you kind of want to combo those together. You want to combo them fast enough that you still have the 25% buff from Sundering Palm and the 40% buff from the Inner Key Discharge. And a lot more often than not, you're going to have an Inner Key Discharge on a cooldown, since it's a longer cooldown than Sundering Palm. So the main combo, if Inner Key Discharge is on cooldown, is the Sundering Palm into 2 or 3 of those moves that are our big hitting attacks. So just to show you real quick how it would look is you would want to Sundering Palm, and you'll get that prepare attack for 4 seconds, and that will give you enough time to do maybe 2 or 3 of these moves here. So I'll go into Scattering Fire and then Key Palm at the end of it. You're going to be wanting to use it with any of those abilities, the big hitting moves, to finish off your attack, and then just finish it off with Heaven Reversing Palm to finish the combo. So overall the build is pretty simple. We're just applying those buffs, using our big moves, disengaging with Heaven Reversing Palm, and then rinse and repeat. One of the other things I do like to use with this build is if you ever get a knockdown on a boss or a guardian in the raids, you can take your concentration level to 3 and then hit your Inner Key Discharge, and right when you hit your Inner Key Discharge you're going to want to use your ultimate, so that way before you cast it you'll have the buff along with it, and you can get some big numbers with that, especially if you're running the right stats on this build. The right stats for this build are going to be crit and agility. A couple other things that you want to focus on in this build is that when you're using your combos and using your moves, you're just trying to make sure you always hit them in the back to get that bonus for the back attack. So that's pretty much everything for the build. Just to break it down one more time, you want to be using your inner key palm, your sundering palm to buff your other 4 abilities, your big hitting moves, and disengage like a combo ender with heaven reversing palm just to finish it off. And that is everything for the PVE build that I like to run. You could use it for raids, just regular content if you're just going around doing dailies, tower, cube, all that good stuff. Not saying either that this is the best build out there for PvP and Guardian raids, but this is what I prefer to use. Alright, so the next build is going to be PvP. And this build is basically the same build that I already made a video of, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we'll go over the skills. I'll show you how the combo for this build works and kind of what my playstyle is when I play PvP. You don't necessarily have to do the same thing. It's just how I play the game. So the first ability is going to be Absorbing Palm with strong armor and tenacity, Finger Bolts with wide attack and helpless target, Wind Howl Blast with music of time, energy explosion and explosive attack, Destruction Wave, fine weakness, tenacity and all out, Instant Step with outstanding mobility and fortification, Key Palm with quickly prepare and enhanced wave and spatial expansion, Buddha's Palm with enhanced attack, brutal training and crude palm, and finally inner key discharge with fortification and tenacity. So this build is kind of focused on how you kind of use your concentration. So at the very beginning of the match, I always like to go into concentration 2, and then I'm just looking to try to stun somebody or maybe hit somebody with a key palm to knock them up, so my teammates can converge on that and we can get them to fall on the ground and make them do their get up stance where they kind of roll to the side and get up. That goes on a cooldown for like 15 seconds or something like that, so we have an opportunity to jump on them and finish them off before their teammates can do anything. Basically, I'm just looking for an opportunity to finally get my final combo off, and that's going to be in Concentration 3, where I'll do Concentration 3, hit my inner key discharge, and then dash Instant Step 3 times, and I'll try to hit that last Instant Step on them to give them a little bit of a nudge, and you'll see them kind of stagger a little bit. And as soon as I hit them with that third Instant Step, that's gonna give me from the Concentration 3, I get my 60% increased damage, then 15% from the fortification and inner key discharge, and then each dash will give me 30% of a boost to attack power. So overall, that's gonna give you roughly over a little bit over 100% attack power boost. So when you hit them with that third Instant Step, that's when you're going to want to start the combo. And basically, like I said, I'm just looking for any type of opening where I can use that. And from the start of the match, when I'm hitting Concentration 2, I go right into Concentration 3 when I see that opening, and inner key, dash 3 times, and here's the combo. You hit them with that last move, key palm, then you want to use your finger bolts, and then you want to end it with the Buddha's palm, and you're doing that all as they're in the air. They're going to be floating in the air there and then drop to the ground. You just hit them with the Buddha's palm to end it. Then they'll probably have a get up move, so they'll either roll left or right, and you kind of want to just wait and catch them with your stun. And this is the only stun you have, which is the Wind Howl Blast. It's crucial as a defensive tool and an offensive tool. That stun right there probably could have, killed someone if they rolled off to the side and I hit them with the stun, then my teammates just kill them. Or if I have a destroyer coming in spinning with those rocks, that little spin move that he has coming at you, you can stun them with the Wind Howl Blast to stop them from progressing towards you. It's really nice tool, only stun that you have on your build. I just showed you the combo of what you want to do, and then when your concentration is on cooldown, you just want to act as a support. Use your skills defensively. Maybe use your destruction wave on an enemy that's on your teammate or an enemy that's rushing at you, so you can knock them backwards and have time to get your concentration back, hit that level 2 again, and then repeat the process. The only skill I didn't discuss is Absorbing Palm. I basically just use this for its strong armor and tenacity. Somebody's coming at me, I use this to get the strong armor so they can't stun you during it, first of all, or I'll use it offensively. If I missed my my stun, I could go in and use that Absorbing Palm to try to catch them. And if you do catch them, it'll knock them up, and you start with your combo again. And Key Palm, Buddha's Palm, whatever. But the combo's always going to be Key Palm, Finger Bolts, Buddha's Palm. And you just hit anybody that you can catch with that, with any stun, knock up, anything like that. The Finger Bolts is mainly for when they're in the air. That's a pretty high damaging move when they're in the air for the helpless target that you have on there. 50% damage increase to somebody in the air. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. The ult is not very useful. It's kind of like you just get lucky. If I see my two teammates fighting like where that scarecrow, if my two teammates are like in that area and I'm over here, sometimes I'll pop the ult to try to catch those guys that are on my teammates, just if they're not looking, and then sometimes I get double kills, triple kills out of nowhere with it. So yeah, just use that as best as you can. And that's pretty much all the stuff for the PvP build. It's pretty simple. You got to play that yourself. A lot of people use different skills like suppression field and things like that. This is just what I like to use, and again, this is not the best build ever or anything like that. This is just my particular favorite thing to use. I'm just a G9 Soul Master, so I'm not the best at all by any means. This is just what I like to use. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is leveling. What build should you use as you're leveling to 50? And there's no particular build for it. You just kind of want to choose a build that you've looked at for the end game when you are level 50 and work towards that as you're building. While I was building this Soul Master, believe it or not, this is my alt. I just re-rolled to this because it's one of my favorite classes, was convinced from one of my friends. Yeah, so I just leveled up Finger Bolts the whole time, and chose some other skills along the way, like for instance, Thunder Palm was one of them. I just chose what was the most damaging move, and once I got Suppression Field, that was pretty much it. I used that and kind of carried me until I was level 50 and maxed it out and whatnot. And yeah, so you're just looking to upgrade the highest damaging skills, or maybe the skills that have the biggest AoE, and it'll work out fine for you. Just if you're looking to understand what tripods to pick, just use whatever is going to be working towards your final build, because you do get two slots on the side. You can make 2 presets, and you can use one for PVE and one for PvP. So if you ever do mess it up or anything like that, use the second slot, and you could just build from there. Once you hit 50, just use that second slot and make that your PVE or PvP build for your your end game content. It's not too difficult. Just make sure you pick good skills. I wouldn't put anything into Poison Javelin or Force Shot, anything like that, but good ones are like Absorbing Palm, Finger Bolts, Thunder Palm, Buddha's Palm is nice. Instant Step, you don't really need to level that up just yet. Heaven Reversing Palm, you don't really need that one either. Wind Howl Blast is great. Falling Star Palm is great for a bunch of enemies. It'll group them up. Key Palm, really nice when it's fully upgraded. Suppression Field, the best when you're going through a dungeon and there's hundreds of enemies. Just use that. It'll wipe them all out if it's maxed out. Scattering Fire is okay. You really want that for in-game content. It's just really good on bosses, so it's more of a Guardian Ray thing. Destruction Wave, you're going to love it. Just use that one when you get it. can handle a bunch of enemies and just destroy them. And inner key discharge, you're not getting until 50, so we don't even have to talk about that. So yeah, that's basically it for the leveling. Just keep in mind that when you reach 50 or when you reach 49, that is the best time to reroll or whatever it's called. Reset your stats. Reset your stats, because when you're level 50, it costs a lot of silver. So 49 is the best time to do it. It's a great decrease to how much silver you actually have to pay to reset your skills and put in your skill points. So just remember that, and that's pretty much it. So that's going to be everything for you guys today. PVE for Guardian Raids, Cube, Tower, PvP, and leveling for all the newer players that are still leveling their characters. Those are all the builds that I used and are still currently using for the PvP and PvE build. So if you guys have any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Let me know and I'll answer them right away. I answer every question. I'll post this on Reddit as well, so that way if you do have questions on there, I'll answer them there, whatever the case is. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. My name was Kilo, and deuces.